I would really like to thank everyone for today, and it gives me great pleasure to sum up both today and our first online International Week. Before I do the more focused thanks, I would like to thank everyone at the university who helped put this week together. All of our colleagues in the international team played a huge part, even behind the scenes, to make sure this worked. The university IT and technical and media and PR teams and all the work they did, and also the university leadership teams for getting this week to work so well. And we hope that it's run as smoothly as possible. Hope you've enjoyed some of the things that we put together in the breaks and in the films that allowed you to experience about what our university is like and some of the things that we do. Today, we again covered a really wide spectrum of international perspectives, which was a goal of ours for this week. I hope you enjoyed and appreciated our first presentation and speech by Debbie that started off today. Debbie really was there to spread the literacy message around the globe, internationally. She's devoted a great part of her life to the pursuit of this cause. And it's because she absolutely knows how vital it is. I can't stress that enough, how vital it is for children to learn to read. And that's what Debbie's devoted her time, her efforts to. So it was my absolute pleasure to have Debbie start today and be with us to share that. And it's not only vital for every child, it's vital for every parent who has a child. Every parent wants their child to be able to read, and Debbie is devoted to those parents as well, giving them advice, guidance, support, information, everything they need in order to know more about how their children learn to read, what their children should be expecting at school about how to learn to read. And Debbie's passion came across so well in her talk. Please, I do urge you to take a further look at the IFERI website that we showed during the presentation. It is packed full of information, research, background, history, evidence, fact sheets, forums, blogs, posts, replies, anything that you could really want and wish for in terms of the international perspectives about effective reading. It is a resource that I go to regularly, and a resource that I urge you as our international participants in this week to visit and then to join. It's free to join. You can join, you can post, you can blog, you can share, and you can collaborate. I really do recommend it as a place to go to if this is your passion too, as it is mine. I think this community of people who are passionate about effective reading instruction, effective literacy instruction, is too precious to let it slip away. It was so powerful that following Debbie, who is equally passionate about the importance of handwriting in learning language, we had the absolute pleasure of listening to Nikki in our second presentation. I thought it was so incredible to hear all those personal stories that Nikki shared with us. Not only stories of young people, but adults who have covered for their handwriting shame for so long. What Nikki is doing in her practice is such incredibly important work. Changing perceptions of the self, changing neural connections that have refused to work for many years, and actually giving a new sense of freedom and joy back into people's lives. That is how powerful handwriting is. And Nikki showed us this. And I believe, honestly, I believe that it's slipping away in our lives. Recently, I saw an online poll of education people, it was on education Twitter, saying that the end result was they thought 65% of educators believed handwriting has got worse over this past year. 65% they believed it. It's an incredibly important area, and it's an incredibly difficult area at this time. I would encourage all of us to reflect on this and see if it really is something that we can allow to disappear. Because once it is gone, we are in uncharted territory, and the odds are not great for what may be to come. It's a hard message to take away, but as both Debbie and Nikki have shown, I believe it's humanly essential. So thank you, Nikki, and thank you, Debbie. Moving on to our next presentation by Chile. Thank you so much, Chile, for your presentation. It was wonderful and showed us just how important a language is and learning a language is, and how there are many ways to explore a love of that learning. You did that brilliantly. We, and here I really mean native speakers of English, we must always remember that there are far more speakers of English as their second or additional language around the world, and that there is a growing need and demand around the world to learn English. Something sometimes we can forget. And I think your passion and this passion for the English language is harnessed when we have such dedicated practitioners in language schools such as yours, Chile. And thank you so much for your wisdom and advice during your presentation. I think, in fact, it's harnessed also by people who are passionate about helping people learn English in the more specialized field of ESP. What Larry and Michael are doing with English for Work is born of this same passion, to help people learn this, and I was going to put in my talk here, this damn language, but this language that I know is frustrating for so many people of English, and get on in their chosen professions. Chile mentioned it about one of the things that learning English can contribute to people's lives. Economically, they can be enhanced by having English as another language. I love the work that Larry and Michael are doing, and it really is a program that I believe and I've seen work. I encourage you to look into it in your own settings and see what it could bring to a wide range of learners who want to progress with their English in their own particular field. I wanted to just share 3 very simple screens, but I'll start with this one. It's been really inspiring this week, and I came across this quotation during the week online. It's been around for a long time, but it really hit me this week when I read it again, that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Kind of resonated with me, I think, from Faith's talk on Monday about what she's doing in the US and how passionate she was, and then through into what Nuno's done in Portugal and Jennifer's speech about what's happened in Australia, the context of Australia, and then obviously through into what we've listened to today. And I really believe that this is true, and I hope you do too. I think what strikes me most about this week is, if you look at what all of the experts that have presented this week are doing in this field internationally, they are doing it with one shared quality, and that is human passion. every single one of our presentations was brimming with passion. This is not a dry field where stale ideas are being recycled year on year. This area, as we've hopefully showcased this week, is alive and moving and striving for change. One other aspect that came out for me as well as the week progressed was that it is through growing connections that we can best make real progress. We're all much part of a much bigger whole. By learning from experts such as Martin, Camille, Faith, Nuno, Jennifer, Georgie, Rita, Karen, Christina, Peter, Andrea, Debbie, Nikki, Chili, Larry, and Michael, we have all experienced that sense of connection this week. As the John Donne poem that I mentioned, that I put on the screen, and I mentioned in reflecting on the work being done by Jennifer and the team at Nomanis, we are in this together. And this week has been such a wonderful opportunity to do what so many of our speakers have said, to connect, to share, to build a community of professionals, and, as was the point of our very first presentation by my best friend Martin, to get it together. Because I sincerely believe that despite the incredible changes we have all been faced with in the past year, and the extraordinary challenges we continue to face, that, as in this final image that I would like to share with you, it's in French, but for those of you not too familiar with French, I believe this image sums everything up that we've tried to say this week. All is not lost. And I'm sure we can all agree with this, whatever language we are learning. We hope that you've been inspired to take some things back with you in your own countries and your own contexts. It's been a pleasure hosting this week. At the end of the whole of the week, we will be sending out a short feedback form that we hope that you can fill in. That will really help us to see about the experience that you've had, and it will really help us plan for future events that we have been inspired to hold in the future. I'm now going to pass over to Kati to ask her to make a few final remarks.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It's hard to say anything after these beautiful slides and thoughts. However, as we end today's event, I would like to say a big thanks to all of you for joining this conference. I'd like to say a special thank you to our presenters, and we're going to send out this book to you each by post, so it might take a little time to get to you, for example, to Australia or to the States. This is about the university, and I hope that it will help you to remember us, and maybe it will whet your appetite for a visit to see us in Eger. You must remember that you're welcome to see us anytime. Thank you very much, Jeff. I really appreciate your huge and very professional effort and work to prepare this 3-day event. Jeff did such a big correspondence, mailing people, phoning people, and I think he got a perfect program together. So I'm really grateful. Also, I am grateful to my colleagues, Lindsay and the other colleagues at the Center for International Relations, who organized this online event. I really appreciate your work, and I must say I love my job and I love my colleagues, and I think this week was a good demonstration what a good team we are. I do hope nothing will prevent us from meeting in person next year. So please keep that in mind. We normally organize the International Week at the beginning of May or in the second half of April. And we'll be in touch with the topics, and you're more than welcome to attend. Until then, stay safe and take care. Goodbye.
And we've decided that we will end with a short musical presentation from some of our colleagues at the university. One of the colleagues will be playing the piano and the other one will be singing opera. So please enjoy. Thank you for being here with us and sharing and the opportunity we've had to learn together, and have a great rest of your week.